nigga, I'm gone.
Turned up in the zone, VIP with a bitch all alone.
My nigga, I'm gone.
From the shots of
Yo, it's another episode of Drinks with Jinx, the podcast where we chill, conversate, and drink. Today, I got the one and only Spotted Loke.
The most Easter you already
What's cracking
know,
with it,
man.
my G? How
It's
you
a
feeling,
pleasure,
homie?
man, to finally have my opportunity to have a few drinks with the infamous Jinx, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the invite.
Man, I appreciate you pulling up, homie.
Easy
you know
call,
what I'm saying?
man.
No security,
Oh,
none of that solo
man.
dolo.
Nah.
Nigga kept it gangster, you know what I'm
All
saying?
We do, we know we roam home like we at home.
That part. So what's up with you, bro? How you been?
Man, I've been blessed abundantly, man. Active.
Yeah.
You know, I've been a grandfather for the last 3 years.
Congratulations.
And so shout out to Winter. She just started school for the first time these last couple of weeks.
That's right.
Her father happened to be displaced, Free Just Jay. So I'm more than just a grandfather. I'm like a father right now.
Right.
I like to be point man. So
Yeah.
just she keeps me young, keep me busy. Got 3 boys playing high school football right now. Shout out to the 3 C's, Curvell, Kermon, and Curtis. Curtis Jr., who happens to be the oldest of seniors, having a pretty much standout year. Eager to get to his game tonight. The 2 of them play for Carson High.
Nice.
And the other one plays for a school in Norwalk. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Nice.
just getting busy. Happy to be alive
Yes.
and happy to be here.
That's right. Well, shit, bro, let's get right into it, homie. Where was you born and raised at?
Well, I was born in Compton, raised between Compton and what they consider the east side of South Central / Watts, basically.
Okay.
Being born to a single mother and a father who did not live in the home, but was quite active in my life from day one.
Okay.
So basically between Central and Avalon,
Mm-hmm.
Alondra and Manchester, that was my parameters. And so all the way up Avalon, all the way back down Central between my daddy and my mama house, and my grandmother stayed right in between off of El Segundo.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of my upbringing was right through that stretch of concrete.
Okay. Any siblings?
Yes, due to my father. I'm my mother's only son.
Okay.
And my father, I have my oldest brother is my father's junior, Big Slick, Tommy Jr., and then my second brother was Martell Williams, Big Spider.
Okay.
Then my third brother, which is actually my cousin through marriage, my father's wife, my other mother, her sister's son was raised in my father's household. His name is Michael Black.
Okay.
The Gridiron Gang movie.
Yeah.
He was basically the star running back that turned that team around, that even
Oh, shit.
influenced that whole story.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in a Kilpatrick. He ended up making it to 2 years on the practice team in the NFL after that. But
Nice.
he has a pretty amazing story himself. And then I have another little brother. Shout out to Derek, who he lives a challenged life. He was born 1 pound, few
Okay.
ounces. His mother's tubes had been tied for 16 years.
Wow.
And some complications upon the day of birth caused him to be stricken with cerebral palsy. A couple of other, but he's 37 years old. He's my biggest fan. He lives in Arizona. Every piece of content that hits online, affiliated with me, he sees it. So you know I love you, little bro.
That's
Oh,
right.
My mama.
That's right.
Those
That's
are my
right.
siblings.
That's
And
right.
Yeah.
That's
what
right,
it
big
is.
dog. Okay. Now, how was you in school?
I was
You're a 70s baby, right? Or 80s baby?
born 76.
Okay, 70. Okay, so you got some years on me. Okay.
yes.
So how was it in school back then at that time?
For me, I was.
'Cause I know gangbanging was really cracking, active at that time as well.
Yeah, I will see. Gang banging in my school experience was not really an issue because my mother saw to it to send me to private schools.
Okay.
So the only real interaction with direct gang banging at that age was outside of school. Outside of a few instances, my first school I went to from kindergarten to 6th grade was on El Segundo between Central and Avalon. It was called LA Union.
Okay.
And there was one gate that separated us from a middle school called Mark Twain.
Right.
And that was right next to Enterprise Park. And that was in the West Side Piru Hood. So that's the school they grew up going to.
Mhm.
And although my school was a private school, it just so happened to be the gangbangers that did go there was Crips. My homie Marquise, he ended up being No Love from Harlem. He used to go to our school. He was older than me. He was a dude in 7th grade that had a full beard and shit like you.
Right.
Ask anybody they know that know No Love.
And he was how old?
Like 7th grade.
Damn, with a full beard.
On my mama, the whole shit. The gold tee, the shit all the way up
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And he was like really banged out. And then my homie Junebug from Harlem, rest in peace, Davion, he was banged out.
Damn.
And then my homie Lil Baldy from Swan, Jock and Jenkins, he used to go to school. He was banged out. So them was like the three main gangbangers that was in our school environment. But however, it was a lot of wannabes, including myself,
Okay.
up until before 6th grade. And many times we used to activate against the Mark Twain school. Just different shit to spark it. And it'd be a big melee at the gate, people jumping on the gate, threatening to hop over. Through the years, I don't recall anybody ever hopping over. But Marquise, no love from Raymond. I remember him throwing a chair over at one time.
Damn.
I believe the chair came back, but the faculty and the staff used to always come and respond.
Right.
I remember it used to feel like a real terrible situation back then, but now I'm thinking back how young we were.
Right.
Yeah, so I went to that school no longer than the 6th grade.
Okay.
So it was really harmless. But back then, it used to seem like it was a real bad day about to happen. And the teachers and shit used to come and handle it. I remember I used to notice how aggressive the staff was with the other kids.
Right.
I used to be like, damn, they not really tripping on these bad motherfuckers. But yeah, that was my experience in school. But I was bused to a lot of my educational establishments.
Right.
So therefore, there's no, that element in that you're gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you. So we had a lot of encounters just catching the bus through the city. And then when, I get dropped off at my daddy's house, a lot of those restrictions that was in place at my mother's house were no longer there.
So you kind of have more free will.
A whole bunch. That's how I ended up being from East Coast versus being from a Compton Crip set. Because my mom had an automatic garage, and she basically used to play it like by the time we hit the block, the garage is up.
It's already
go
ready
in
to
the
enter.
garage.
Right.
And then that's how she tried to do it. But my father, not being in the home, but trying to be a good father, one day came, he put a brand new snapback basketball court on my garage. I'm talking about some shit we ain't never seen in the ghetto. And I stay right down the street from Tragnell Park where they had the bent rims, the fucked up nets, the chain.
Yeah.
So it started happening when we hit the street. My mama hit the garage to come up, but before we hit the garage, just like 15 niggas in my yard playing basketball.
Right.
These turned into my childhood friends, and she never ran them off.
Okay.
So all that protection she was trying to provide for me from the actual elements of the neighborhood, it ceased when my daddy put that basketball hoop up there. And then all those young boys turned out to be the track news. So although I didn't really jump off the porch and get out there with them, because it was just me and my mother in the household. And a lot of what that would entail was just too disrespectful at a certain point for me to pull off.
See, that's what I was going to ask you. So what age was it when you actually jumped off the porch?
Like 15, 16.
15 years
when
old.
I could start ditching school.
Okay.
And going to the set without being detected. And my mama don't know my every move when she's not really realizing if I'm getting picked up from school or not. So that's when I was able to and also, shout out to Big Spider, he was in jail.
Damn.
And he wasn't over there running me off.
Okay.
So I was able to just pop up. I did school. And so I'm claiming the hood elsewhere other than in the hood.
And this is this before you actually got put on the hood? Did you actually have to get put on the hood, like courted in the hood? Or you didn't have to do it? Oh, shit.
I got a lyric that kind of describes it from my perspective. It says, he shot his way on the set. They ain't quote him on. Never lied. Any lyric you can quote him on. See, kind of like my experience was, I remember the time as a youth, kind of waiting for it to be brought up or come up.
Okay.
And it just never came up. And then just reflecting on, I just remember how I showed up. Like, banging the set is one thing.
Right.
But being a mischievous young boy out here doing a gang of wild shit was even before banging the set.
Right.
And even before banging the set, me, my brothers, and my neighbors on 99th Street, we was banging East Side Hustlers. 99 East Side Hustlers. We had made some other shit. So before I was even officially 15, 16 banging the set, I was involved in a whole bunch of bullshit, mischievous, banging type activities.
Right. Now, what intrigued you? Is that because the homies was kind of doing it too, and you kind of wanted, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, outside of the camaraderie and just the aesthetics that attract the majority of young boys that got caught up.
Okay.
That had a lot to do with it. The timing, I realized that, it was just popping in that time, and I can't really describe my attraction to it.
Right.
I just was mischievous in a lot of ways, though. So that was one thing. And I found myself attracted toward violence and violent activity and there seemed to be a sport to it where, it's kind of like the UFC.
Yeah.
No rules.
Right.
And I don't
Bare
know.
knuckle.
Yeah, bare knuckle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I can't really describe or just articulate my actual initial attraction. It was just, I just remember being young enough to where it was being said amongst us, "Is you blood or cuz?"
Straight
If,
up.
if you blood, that means you bleed. If you cuz, you cool. And I remember just be like, I'm cuz. When we used to be cuz, I used to just want to be cuz. And then
Damn.
I remember my cousin Stacy, Free Stay Slope, Southside Compton. We were raised, we're first cousins. Our mothers, both single mothers, are like not only sisters, but they're best friends and
Nice.
inseparable.
Right.
So we were raised like brothers along with his older brother Clarence. But he and I were the mischievous two who I can recall before we knew anything being raised sheltered. He used to drive past my Track New Park down the street from my house. I remember him calling me young and be telling me like, "Hey, you from 10 Drew Park? You from 10 Drew Park?" So for a minute, I thought I was from 10 Drew Park. And yeah, I didn't know. So
Damn.
and I remember being in Bible study in Southside Hood at my auntie house.
Right.
And we'd get come up on some spray paint. And my mom and them being there giving Bible study. We sneaking out the house, writing on the wall. We writing Track New and Southside on the wall together. And I remember we drive by the next day and see the Southsides then crossed out the Track News. We didn't even know it was like that. Cause they Track News and the Palmer blocks was real tight, and back then the Palmers and the Southsides was like up.
Yeah.
But we were so young, didn't even know nothing. We just reading the wall thinking we are down with our area. We wasn't even affiliated, but
Right.
it was always an attraction. I remember I've always gone to church in Compton, Tamarind Avenue, 70th Adventist Church. It's my family church. So
Nice.
I remember the Compton Police Department, not the sheriffs. They used to come with this like scare straight program to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And they would show slides and they'll have a chalkboard and they'd be kind of like trying to deter everybody. But to us, it was more like how the Army show the recruiting reels?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see they going to war, they jumping out of helicopters and all that, but they do it to attract you.
Yeah,
I don't think
for
they
sure.
realized it had that effect on some of us. I can recall being very young and the police used to come with a chalkboard and they used to write like the initials to the gangs and try to ask the congregation, do they know any of them? Me and my cousin Stacy used to fire them off. And I remember the whole church, you started learning to look, because, we very active in the church. We
Right.
choir, we ushers.
Right.
On youth day, I'm
Right.
going to deliver the message. I've always been a public speaker. I always had these gifts, so no matter what circle I was in, I was always selected. Even when I was young, too young to speak, per se. I used to do the children's story. So I participated in every realm, but at the same time, that when they came in here trying to teach us these things, we knew them already.
Right.
It was just always an infatuation with me. I had family members from Compton, Pyru, that were older than me that I was, exposed to. Shout out to Joker and Low Key. I got big cousins from Swan, Chucky, D Slim. So I just had older. My cousin Rico, he was from Millers. Then my brother was from the set.
Right.
And it was just such a high influence. It was everywhere, bro. And I don't know, I can't really describe the exact attraction.
So let's go back to the music part now, because you said you was in choir and all that, right? So, so you've been doing this since you was a child with the whole music thing.
Of course.
Now,
Even my first rapping experiences was in a church environment.
okay. Now, when did you make your first track?
If I can recall correctly, it was after being released from prison in 1999.
Okay. How long did you do at that time?
That was my second trip to prison, where I was sentenced to 32 months with 80%.
Damn.
And I think you bring like 25 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I had been sentenced 2 years. I did like 18, 19 months off that.
Okay.
So
Can you talk on what you did to go, or you don't want?
Bullshit, petty crime.
Just some bullshit? Okay.
Initially, it was really essentially a purse snatching.
Okay.
Although we was at the Torrance Memorial Hospital, and my cousin Stay Sloke again. We was teenagers actually.
Yeah.
And he had a little female that worked up at the hospital, so we went up there, ordered a piece on her lunch break. I think we sat there and flirted with her, but when we got there, we had seen this lady like closing down a gift shop,
Right.
and she had a gang of stack of money on the counter, and the bank bag she tallying up, but
Right.
She had that metal bars.
Yeah.
We just noticed that walking on up to the little shit. And then when we was leaving, not thinking about hitting no lick or nothing, cuz when we was leaving the hospital, just happened to see her walking to her car. And we
Damn.
yeah, so I remember he had a photo color, it's a gray one. And on my mom, it wasn't on cuz mine at all. So it was all me. I'm like, oh,
Damn.
stop. And so
And had to hit the lick.
yeah, I'm sorry, lady, if you're still alive. I apologize to the universe, to all helpless females. I don't, condone this. I was very, very young, and I want to keep it a Google. Even hearing C-Mac be open about some of his activities as a youth.
Yeah.
On the east side, it ain't no big surprise that young niggas snatch persons.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but being on such a public platform, but being so mature beyond that time, a lot of people not proud to be involved with that.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly.
it wasn't for the sake of the purse.
Right.
It was for what we saw her tallying up. It wasn't just a random purse.
Right.
However, when I went to grab it, instead of her just giving it up, she like used all her force and went to the ground and then
So she was trying to tuck that shit, huh?
Yeah. Instead of me,
She wasn't going down without a fight.
yeah. Once you in, you in. I'm not finished. So I went down and kind of like manhandled it from her.
Yeah.
Got in the car we got on, cause we was on our way to Compton to see 2 other females.
Damn.
Matter of fact, the homegirl from Kelly Park, rest in peace, we ended up getting ran over by the Metro Rail. That was my cousin, other friend. We was on our way to go see them.
Right.
On Crip, cuz. So we in Torrance, mind you, we get on the freeway. We get off. We stop at the gas station at the Mobile on Alondra and Central.
Okay.
And while we sitting in there, a sheriff car just rolled through the gas station and rolled out. I told
So you didn't think of nothing
shit,
or you kind of knew?
I did.
Okay.
Cuz 10 months older than me. I'm like, cuz. My mama stayed, if the tennis court wasn't right there, my mama stayed right through the shit.
Damn.
We finna go down Alondra to go see these bros.
Right.
Like in the spook towns. I'm like, cuz, fuck that. I'm like, I'm finna get out, just walk home, just gone. Here he go. Man, that shit happened way in Torrance, man. That day ain't nah. He ain't thinking. It's just my intuition. And it's not like I'm had no gang experience with the law at this time.
Right, none of that.
My intuition.
But you knew something was
I
off,
knew
though.
It was
Yeah.
odd.
Right.
And so, but I let him convince me that that's just coincidence. So I'm at that Mobile it's on the east end of the Compton Airport.
Okay.
So we going down to Alondra. By the time I get to
I know where it is.
Miracle,
Yep.
you know what
I
Miracle,
know where it is.
Miracle Market is?
Yeah.
We banked that right on Miracle Market.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, the bird, 1,000 sheriffs, the big lights. I said, I told you, cuz. I told you. I could have got out that car and disappeared into the night, bro.
But they would have got him only then, probably. Right.
Listen what happened when we get to the Carson. They take you to Carson Station when you get booked in that area. So this is in 1994.
Okay.
So
damn, I was still a kid at that time.
We get in the holding tank, and cuz was like through a temporary agency at that time working for IBM.
Okay. Oh, the computer shit?
Company,
Yeah.
He had been there for a while and was right about to make permanent, he felt. And his mother, as a single mother, he was like highly responsible for helping carry the weight of the house at that time as a young man. So, like, mind you, this not my homie.
Right.
This is my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he in the tank, pacing, stressing about if he missed work, he finna lose his job, and he paying the house no, So when the detectives, they called me for an interview first. I just went in there and told him, man, we was driving through the parking lot. I seen what I seen. I just told him stop, jump out, did my shit. As soon as I jumped in, he got to cussing me out, talking about what the fuck, why you do that? He had no idea what I was.
So you was honest about it?
Yeah, I
kept
just
the G.
Kept it
Okay.
G.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I came back in the tank, I just told them, tell me you ain't got nothing to say, man. You don't want to incriminate yourself or me. And I remember when I woke up, he was gone.
Wow.
I went to prison. Yeah, so
damn.
I took 2 years though, because they was riding me. To be honest with you, at that age, I was kind of eager to get to prison.
Okay.
And there's only one sentence smaller than 2 years. It's 16 months. So it was like, ooh.
About a year and a half, a little under a year and a half.
I could get these stripes because just, in that lifestyle,
right.
I was considered stripes to a degree. And
now this was your first strike?
This is my first strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took it like a rite of passage and kind of like, damn, I'm a young nigga, teenager on my way to prison.
Right.
And, I did that. I was Baby Spider banging the set.
Did you ever run into him after doing your your
cousin?
2 year? Yeah.
Oh man, after that, I remember times I was in the county jail and he knew he had to like turn himself in. I remember him smuggling weed in there for me and all that. He didn't
Oh
smoke.
shit!
And I
Damn.
remember getting caught.
Yeah.
Trying to throw it to me. And like, cause we passing in line just by happen chance. And then he tried to throw it on some whoop shit and we got caught, but the police didn't make no big deal. They just took it. I remember one time I seen him in the county jail and we didn't know he was gonna finna see each other. And I told the police who he was.
Right.
And they gave us 2 minutes to stand to the side and chop it up. I remember at one time we was in the county jail. I had a female come to visit me, so I had her bring him out. So we crossed paths after that on different cases as we was a little older.
Okay.
In jail quite
But
a
y'all
few
still
times.
cool till this day? And
Oh yeah,
everything?
on my mama.
Okay.
Free States low, cuz.
Okay.
He in a predicament right now, man. On my mama.
That's right. Now let me ask you this, big dog. How'd you link up with Suge? Again, because you was on death row, right?
It's deep. You asked me some real ironic. I was on the row.
On the row, my bad.
Affiliated.
It was death row, then it was the row.
Row.
Right,
And
right,
I was
right.
affiliated technically. But
Okay,
yeah,
you wasn't signed
I was
to
not
the row
signed,
though.
But
Okay,
it was pushed and promoted, and I was affiliated and moved around. And
okay.
I worked with as if I was for about 2 years, but it was never made official as far as
okay.
the only.
How did that connection happen with Suge and all that with
It's
the row?
odd you asked me that. Shout out to Dominique and Antonio.
That's a good question.
Yes, that's a beautiful question. From
Thank
the sense
you,
that, rest in peace to Malik too.
Yeah.
The actor that played in a lot of movies. You might not be familiar with his name off top, but he just died due to cancer. I got the news yesterday, and I got the star in that episode of Cold Case with him.
Okay.
And Michael B. Jordan. And
nice.
he became a friend of mine just because of that. I had a studio in North Hollywood at the time. He used to frequent, come hang out. He used to be a member of the 40 Thieves rap group with Coolio.
Oh, I remember them.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah, of
he has a
course.
face. When you see his face, he's
Yeah.
a lottery ticket. But you see his face, you can be like, oh, but anyway.
Okay.
It's crazy because yesterday out of nowhere, my big homie, Big Ant, rest in peace, he's been deceased for quite a few years. And I remember he like one of my G homies, legendary from the set, Easty as fuck, from Watched, and like, you know, it's all you know about him. You don't know too many things refined about him. And he has a number of kids, and then one of his youngest boys who used to look just like Lil Boosie when he was little.
Oh,
And
shit.
used to keep the fade. He used to look
Right, the
bad.
high fade, right?
And he used to just look bad. He used to look mischievous. And I used to nickname him Lil Boosie.
Mm.
But I could remember from his young age, I could remember the big homie used to have his son at his house, and it'd be a period of time. He'd be like, oh yeah, so-and-so finna come over and give him Bible studies.
Mm-hmm.
And for my life, that's no big deal.
Right.
But to see my homie going through that, my G homie with just one of his children, I seen him have grown boys that's gangbanging. Some have lost their life. He has grown daughters.
Right.
I've never seen that element in his parenting.
Wow.
Although I believe this is the first child he had with Dominique's. What up, sis? And I used to always put this negative like spirit on Lil Antonio. Like, look at Lil Boosie. Yeah. He used to smile. He was so little. He didn't know no better. But it appeared from way back then, he had his own interest in spirituality to where his parents used to have someone come to the house and give him Bible studies like how other kids would get tutored. Just
Damn.
it was like a leisure thing.
Right.
And then, so yesterday out the blue,
Mm-hmm.
so I've never been really affiliated. This is my G homie girlfriend.
Yeah.
So we never had a personal relationship.
Okay.
He passed, and shortly after he passed, I was coming out to Carson Mall one day,
Yeah.
and we bumped heads, and we exchanged information because she wanted to make sure I got an obituary and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then through the years, she would just tap in and like I would be on a podcast like this,
Right.
and Big Ant name pops in my story to the point where I would end up telling a story like this, and she'd just text me out the blue and be like, "Man, I remember those days," and such things like that.
Right.
And then yesterday, I'm trying to look for this video. I get a video from a number that I didn't even have saved in my phone.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna show you what the video was. And my response is like, who is this?
Right.
That's that little boy that was getting them Bible studies.
Oh. What?
He's speaking to a congregation. If you do any editing, I'll send you the clip. So
Okay.
for the sake of the conversation, you'll have it.
Okay.
But he's speaking to a congregation full of Caucasian grown men,
Right.
sophisticated.
Right.
I did the same thing at his age, and she sent me that to update on how that little boy was doing.
Right.
And we had a pretty spiritual, motivational conversation out of that, right?
Nice.
And then out of nowhere, cuz when I get the news that Malik passed, I wanted to let her know how odd it was that she hit me that day, because Malik was the brother of her baby daddy, ex-wife,
Okay.
who he also had children with.
Right.
So
Oh shit.
I was like, man, it's real odd you hit me today. I don't want to offend you by bringing her up, but I called the lady name, who was also my sister. I've been knowing her for years and years.
So you tight with both of them, no problem.
Yeah, because it's not really my business.
Right,
These
right.
were the women in his life
he
at
was
different
fucking
times.
right.
So it's all respect for them. So I was like, I don't want to offend you by mentioning Ina, but
Right.
her brother passed today. She said, no, but she knew who his name is. It's like, I sent her the picture. She's like, oh yeah, Malik. You know how? I'm like, it was cancer. And the only reason I knew that was because when my brother, Big Spider, I had posted on my story, rest in peace, Malik.
Right.
He got in my DM and was like, that was Big Aunt wife, Ina, brother. Damn. So I'm like, man, I got chills because Big Aunt baby mama had just hit me about 45 minutes ago out the blue with like a praise report on my nephew. And here it is, beyond the grave, my big homie, both of the love interests that I'm most familiar with in his life outside of Makia, shout out to his other baby mama too. They tapped in with me. And at the time of his passing, we weren't seeing eye to eye. And it was based upon a lot of he say, she say that never got to really get clarified. But Dominique has long been trying to convince me that I may have been under the wrong impression. So now that you asked me that, I'm gonna give you a background on the dude that called me one day and told me Suge Knight wanted to meet me, and that's Big Ant, my big homie from my hood.
Yeah, break that shit down.
Well, he had a relationship with a dude named Magic.
Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna say he had it with Suge, but he had
a relationship with Suge prior to mine.
Okay.
I don't know the exact details.
Sip that Henny, nigga. What
okay, yeah.
Baby shit like a motherfucker.
Drink some James. You feel me? My bad.
Sip up, nigga.
Why he clowning me,
This
y'all.
shit starting to kick my ass, nigga. I'm fading like a motherfucker already.
He put this bullshit in my drink.
Yeah.
And I told him prior not to.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not a natural, because it tastes like bullshit.
With the coke in it?
Yeah, I don't do that.
You prefer just on the rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, see, because when you told me don't put it, I didn't hear you say that. I knew you said something, but I didn't hear that part. My bad.
So it's not a natural reaction.
Right.
It's not what I'm used to.
Right, I feel you.
But anyway, my homie Big Ant.
Want some more Henny in it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, pimp. Come on,
honorable
man.
host, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, come on, man. So water down that coke that's in that
Yes,
motherfucker,
sir.
nigga. All right, but go ahead. So you said he knew a nigga named Magic, right?
Yeah, they was like best friends.
Okay.
And I knew Magic as well.
Right.
Through my homie Big Ant being just East Side upbringing and all that.
Yeah.
Very familiar with Magic.
Okay.
But Magic was also at that time known for, bumping shoulders and elbows in the industry and being aggressive with networking and, making his name known, amongst other things.
Right.
And if you just go with physical stature, it's like Magic, Big Ant.
Okay.
Magic, light skin, Big Ant, black as fuck.
Okay.
Got a real intimidating, just natural.
Swole like and shit?
Swole, slim swole. Not no, like me, like slim.
Not thick swole, but
not
like
skinny at all.
cut up swole.
Yeah,
okay.
Got that, and he just got a yellow eye.
Yeah.
Big. So they made a good dynamic.
Ahmed Johnson looking nigga. Remember Ahmed Johnson?
Nah.
Did you watch WWF back in the day?
Nah, I really never was into. Me and Baby Oil and Panties playing like they mad at each other.
Yeah. You don't.
Saw through that long time ago, man. Don't turn me on, man. Okay. Let's not oil ourselves down and
Hogan, the Warrior, and all that shit.
I mean, in school, in elementary school, that same school where we used to throw the chairs across.
Yeah.
I remember it being all the hype Saturday night main event.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I used to watch it just so I knew it.
Yeah. Macho Man, Beefcake.
No, I never felt that way about it. I used to watch it to be up on it. So when everybody was talking about it.
But you wasn't a fan?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay.
I've never found myself fond of seeing men in them tight things like that.
With baby.
I could see UFC is the only version of very, because it's like so the other shit is fake as fuck. Like, I've always been a realist, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't never like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Exactly.
Yeah, just
Spider
not my
Loki, you are
shit.
talking to a fan right here.
I see.
I'm
You
a
saw
big
excited
wrestling
he
He's
got.
a huge
But
fan.
I'm not.
I
gonna
was
take-
hoping he would have been like,
I'm-
oh yeah,
I
man,
see,
I
but
like
I hate-
Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Well, you know, I'm Mr.
But-
Facts Over Feelings. I cannot patronize you. That's not
Nah,
my
you
shit.
good, nigga.
Yeah, on my
Yeah.
mama. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the road story. So,
Yeah.
so the homie, what's his name again? The
Big
big,
Ant,
sp-
rest
big,
in peace.
big amp, like AMP.
A&T, like
Oh, Ant.
Ants.
Okay,
Like
so
Anthony, short for Anthony. His son was
Anthony, right.
Antonio doing the
Okay.
preaching.
So him and Magic. Okay, boom. Right.
He got a daughter named Antonisha. I love you still, baby.
Yeah.
On God. Ain't
That
nobody
part.
else got to know what I'm talking about, but I love you. Go ahead.
Okay. So he said, hey man, Suge want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Now, how did that? Okay, so you must have been putting out a lot of music or doing
No,
something.
This is my big homeboy from my hood. I didn't have to never put out nothing for him to have an audience with Suge, and then for him to convince Suge I'm the type of individual he would like to meet. So
Okay,
this is
to
my
have in the
big homie.
circle.
He oversaw every day of my cripping. Like this is my
Okay.
big homie that know me from like day one.
Right.
So and before that, before
Right.
cripping, he's
Right.
a friend of the family, like type shit.
Okay.
So what had actually taken place was I was already considering myself on my rap grind for maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
What year is this?
Well, I met Suge.
Like 99, 2000
I released from prison in 99. And
Okay.
I started my independent career or journey alongside Wino from 190, who had did a lot of production for Coolio. That's
Okay.
crazy. We was just talking about Malik, and Coolio comes up again.
Yeah.
So he did Fantastic Voyage and some things like that.
Okay.
So he was really a big part of Coolio's highest moments.
You're right. I
believe he even had some
That was
production.
a hot single. Cool.
Yeah,
That was a record.
I don't want
that he
to
had.
speak wrong, but I believe he had some production on Gangsta Paradise as well.
Okay.
But Wino, because of that fact, in 99 when I paroled, another one of my G homies, Big Bumpy from my hood, who knew my aspirations, told me, man, like, if you really want to rap, bro, you need to know your homie Wino from 190. And Wino had a studio in his house, which was like a mini mansion in Harbor City. This is 1999.
Right.
So that was like having a house in Hollywood Hills.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, and he had a real up to like top of the line studio.
Right.
And so because of that, and he was affiliated with Coolio and been in the game for some years, I was able to meet people like Dub C, Trey D.
Oh, hell yeah. From the East Siders. Hell yeah.
Mouth, J.O. Felony, Drace to the Gangster, Killer Tay, even Tech Nine. So because of that was my introduction
Nine,
to the
hell yeah.
industry on an independent level. Cam, I already knew Cam from being a young nigga on the East Side, but I was able to be reunited with Cam and work with him too. And that was the first time I was able to hear myself on this tape, go in the store and see my name and buy it because Cam allowed me to be on Camnesia, which was produced by the homie Wino.
Right.
So
Not to cut you off.
go ahead.
Talk about Tech Nine from Strange Music, Kansas City. I almost got signed to Strange Music.
Shout out Big Court. Is that right?
Yeah. I almost got signed, but they signed Murs
I ain't familiar.
over me. I think they're called from the Legendary Icons or something like that they were called. I forgot. Legendary
You
something.
finna do me like you did with the WWE.
Oh, shit.
Not that
Yeah.
have
But
a
I
lack-
almost got signed
No,
to Tech.
I don't-
Long story
I don't
short.
have a lack of respect or
Yeah.
interest for Tech. I just have a lack of knowledge and
Okay.
familiarity.
Yeah.
But why I was fortunate enough to have a credit alongside him is because Sebo was in jail. And
Shout out Sebo.
Shout out Sebo.
Hell
Bald
yeah.
head nut.
Yeah.
Deuce 9-7. But I was around while he was in jail. I was pretty close with his manager, Tipo,
Okay.
who was active in putting together a collaboration album with Brother Lynch and Sebo called Block Movement.
Okay.
So I actually traveled with Tipo up and down the highway, even to meetings to Snoop Dogg house.
This is before meeting Suge?
Yes.
This is before Suge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And so
Fuck, dude. That's crazy.
so therefore, I got on they putting the album together. The studio, Sebo just type of nigga pull up and record in a lot of different studios. So because he was in jail and it was time to put this project together, collaboration with Brother Lynch, Tipo was tasked with hitting up a gang of studios that Sebo had music in, and that meant from LA all the way up to Seattle. So I used to be shotgun with Tipo, going to studios, getting verses, and I ended up getting to do a verse on a song with Tech Nine and Brother Lynch called Money, Power, and Respect.
Okay.
And I hadn't actually met Tech Nine. So I've never actually met Tech Nine, but through the years, at times we've had correspondence in social media that I know he's aware Shout out to Tech Nine with all
Right,
that. He's a
right.
legend, genius.
Oh, fuck yeah.
stupid.
Lyricist like a motherfucker.
But
Hell yeah.
based on Wino's, my affiliation with Wino and Hard Time Records, and that even gave me the connection with Blue Da Vinci.
Okay.
And so in his first introduction to BMF, I was there too. And
Oh.
invited by Blue to take that journey with him. My lack of knowledge of what it was finna be, even on the good side,
Right.
made me not interested, which saved me from probably a lot of the bad side. However, had I known exactly what they were about to do, minus the bad shit,
Right.
if I knew what they was finna do, I'd have been out of there with Blue on Crip, easy,
Damn.
on my mama. But I knew Meech way back before anybody based on my affiliation with Wino, Blue, and the Delamo side section of my hood. But anyway, so it got to a time where Wino, that shit kind of like, I met Suge. Okay, so I wasn't fucking with Wino, I was fucking with T.Y. and For Show Records.
Mm-hmm.
That's another nigga from Harlem that was out here doing this thing. At one point, he was out here in L.A. He had the Brinks trucks. Before Nipsey, he was a nigga out here with the Brinks trucks, rap with his logo. And he used to have a fat head, the big Ben Franklin t-shirts with the rhinestones and shit all on it.
Okay.
But he had he was like, I was at the studio with Kenny McLeod one day. He came in there, heard me rapping, and asked me how much for 10 songs. And I was so young, I didn't know what to tell him. I told him something like 1,000 a song. And then he gave me like 800 that night. And then from that point in my life, he was like calling me, telling me, book you some studio time with Kenny tonight. So I'll be in the studio, and then he'll just pull up, come give me 500, 700.
Right.
No
Breaking you up,
paperwork.
right? Yeah.
That was really, after Wino, that was like my second deal. Shout out to T.Y. And to be honest with you, it's crazy he comes up because it was like my first thing I did in the industry that kind of like lacked integrity, I believe.
Yeah.
Because when Suge was being announced by the news to be coming home soon, I used to tell everybody I bumped into when I had a rap conversation that, nigga, I'm gonna do everything I can. And then 30 days of him being home, I'm gonna meet him.
You kept saying that.
I kept saying that.
You was manifesting that shit.
I was manifesting
Hell
that.
yeah.
And however, when he got released, I put zero effort into bringing it about.
Oh.
But before 30 days had passed,
Okay.
I'll get back to the manifest.
But what made you say 30 days specifically?
Because
instead of saying, 2, 3
because-
months, 6 months within the year.
Because before this manifesting and all this shit became trendy, and me stepping away from religion and realizing I was spiritual, I've always realized without being able to describe something other than, what we starting to know now, I've been known it.
How you feel about the laws of attraction?
I really don't go with feelings, especially in public platforms.
Okay.
I go with the facts. And the fact is, I've seen a lot of evidence that people have become satisfied with results when they pay attention to it. But I cannot confirm its validity personally.
Okay.
But I can't say I don't believe in it, but I can't say I do believe in it, but I don't knock it. And I hope there is some actual validity to it, because I do tend to practice some of, what it prescribes, and I don't knock it. So I hope that me getting myself on certain vibrations and avoiding others and attempting to manifest certain positive energies.
But manifesting manifesting is a part of laws of attraction.
Indeed.
Because if you can believe it, you can achieve it and receive it.
But the thing to me,
you see what I'm saying? If you can have it in your
this
mind,
this is why the laws of attraction I have a problem with. Laws are absolute,
right?
For one,
right.
And then when you go to The Secret, you consider that synonymous with the laws of attraction, correct?
Oh, you going deep now.
Correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right, so there's one thing that throws me off about that whole thing is the person that's being harassed at work. And then based on someone else's view of their whole lifestyle.
Okay.
And then you can go home and manifest that person to behave different. I don't believe in that.
No.
If you watch The Secret, they'll teach you that all you have to do is go home and look in the mirror and talk to yourself different. And then when you go back to work, these individuals begin to talk to you different, even though their whole problem with you had to do with your whole affiliation with the alphabets or the rainbow. They were harassing you, dogging you out. The Secret teaches you go home, get in the mirror,
right,
talk to yourself a certain way.
Right,
and when you go back, these people want to talk to you different. I don't believe it.
No, but see, there's a saying that goes, treat people how you want to be treated, right?
I believe
Or
it's golden rule.
but if
Do
you
unto
think
others
about it,
as you have them doing to you. That's
yeah.
the only
But
thing.
really, if you treat people the
That
way you
doesn't
treat
guarantee
yourself,
you a reaction.
treat yourself the way you would
that
treat
just
others.
commissions you to do a certain thing, but it does not guarantee you a reaction.
That's true too.
But the secret tells you if you practice the golden rule,
Right.
they are going to reciprocate. And that is not a fact.
No, that's not a fact.
There are people that die
Right.
while professing love. And
Yeah.
get stabbed to death.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing of the revolution, the Christian revolution and martyrs and the whole Christ story.
Right.
He was spewing blessings while they were killing him.
Yeah.
So that is so it can't be a law of
Right.
attraction. There
Right.
can be an element of attraction, an experience of attraction, but we can't. But I don't tend to deal with absolutes. Every time you try to wrap yourself around absolute, you're gonna run into a
Brick wall or something.
Nine
Yeah.
times out of 10.
Yeah.
There are very few absolutes in this world.
Yeah. I
So,
co-sign with that. I
I
co-sign.
try to stay away from absolutes. Therefore, I avoid making a fool of myself.
Right,
times.
right.
Yeah.
No, back to the Suge thing.
Yeah,
I know
of
we
course.
keep getting
No
off
problem.
track.
I know right
the
where we at,
conversation
though.
cracking. Yeah,
I know
hell
right
yeah,
where we are.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so he was like,
shout
man,
out
I
to
want you to
T.Y.
meet.
I'm
meet.
fucking with T.Y.
Okay.
No, you ahead of that.
Yeah.
And I remember being at a meeting in the valley with T.Y. And this was a meeting where I felt like I was being prioritized. I was pulling up, drove up, and I got to his facility. He had some.
What was it, like a studio or something?
Yeah, similar to this, but it
Okay.
was not set up for this.
Okay.
And that's what he had. He had a place. He always had big money.
Okay.
So, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Herb. That's an insider. I got a homie that just, you can't burp without him just clowning you.
Oh,
So,
shit.
But anyway, I know he gonna see this.
Yeah.
And when he see it now, in real time, whenever you see this, I know you laughing like a motherfucker. Fuck you. Oh, blah. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm in this meeting and I can recall, I go to this meeting, I'm sitting in the lobby, and T.Y. was preoccupied with some guests. There were some Caucasian men that he was seeking distribution from.
Okay.
And all in all, whatever he was attempting to do for me couldn't be done unless he locked down with
Yeah.
date. But as an artist, spoiled, or whatever, invite, drove far, no gas really. He's not giving me no time. He keep passing me, giving me the finger like I'm gonna get right with you. And this is like transcending a long period of time now into a couple of hours.
Right.
Getting frustrated to the point where now I tell the lady that's at the desk, I'm like, can you send a message in there to him for me? And she like, sure. So I'm like, hey man, I gotta go. I need some gas. He popped his head out the meeting, real humble, man. Was like, man, I promise, man, I apologize, man. I meant to be woo, but really we can't do. I gotta get this.
Right.
He gave me 500. That was the gas.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm like, good looking, my nigga. I leave, rolling, but still frustrated overall. And woo.
Yeah, off top.
And I
Shit.
swear to God, EC Crip, rest in peace, Big Ant. I got a call say, hey, cuz, Suge want to meet you. It was less than 30 days. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there was a Red Lobster and close to the Death Row office at that time. So
Okay.
I was leaving the valley, and because they were about to eat, they was hungry. I remember, at that time, Red Lobster was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember meeting Suge and at the Red Lobster, and the first thing out of his mouth was, man, I don't even eat this bullshit. It's just the closest thing since you was coming, we came here.
Yeah.
And then from then, we went to crustaceans and shit like that on a regular basis, and I noticed the difference. But at that time, he was like shitting on Red Lobster. I'm like, man, this shit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I used to fuck with that Fuddruckers, nigga, back in
I remember that. That was like a whole,
Yeah.
almost Chuck E. Cheese type. Didn't they have like...
They got games and shit. Yeah.
That was a birthday place.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, I used to go to one by Lakewood Mall back in the day.
That's where I could
right there on
place it.
Candlewood, nigga.
my
Hell
mama.
yeah.
I could place it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, so
But,
so you met. Okay,
so
so
I
you
pulled
did the
up.
Red Lobster thing.
And what was happening was Magic and Big Ant had landed a meeting with Suge to pitch Done Deal Records, essentially, which was Magic's label.
Okay.
And his number one artist or premier artist was Eastwood. Shout out to Eastwood.
Oh, yeah,
That's
shout
my
out
Brody.
Eastwood.
On my mama.
Yeah.
And so during that meeting, Suge was describing the type of artist he was interested in meeting.
Right.
And part of that description was, I think the trigger was, I ain't gotta be saving him from his homies. Is what I can recall, which caused my homie Big Ant like, well, you need to meet my little homie. And so he was like, well, call him. So it was that simple where Big Ant called me like, this nigga Suge want to meet you, based on his description of what he was interested in.
Just like that.
Yeah. So I had a relationship with my homie Big Ant and Magic that like could validate for anything I ever said about myself being gangster
Right.
at that time. Not just my big homie, but Magic too from A7. Cuz know the business too. So
Damn.
for Suge to say something of that nature and then began to speak up on my behalf, it's like Magic no. Like Magic's still alive. My homie rest in peace. But
Right.
Magic no right now. Me saying this with all this confidence and all this boldness.
He know he can
He
co-sign.
could co-sign to this
Right.
day. Like he knew like that's exactly what, you know, so outside of the talent level in my actual
Damn.
interest. So I came, it was like a long mob table. I remember Country Owl, all the names that were still popping at that time. They were standing around, a lot of big G'd up Pyru niggas. And Suge was sitting at the head of the table. And as I walked in, they positioned the table, a chair to where, you know, he was right here, facing this way.
Right.
And the chair they gave me was like facing like this. And like as close as view was like right here.
Right.
He doing. And I remember him was looking perfect, like, what up? I'm like, what up? He said, I heard, you know, I'm on my tip though, because this is Suge. And you know, he was
This is Suge talking to you.
This is basically the devil at this time. Like,
Right.
I remember at this time
He had the red suit on with the cigar.
No, but it's that guy.
It's that nigga
It's
though.
that guy.
Right.
It's
You
that
just
guy.
don't see the horns, but
No,
it's that nigga.
the lack of a smile.
Yeah.
The slight brisk sweat.
Okay.
The size.
Yeah.
The entourage.
Okay. The energy and all that.
Yeah, the whole presence. The
Okay.
whole presence.
The aura
Like,
and everything.
Yeah, I ended up knowing him after this. That,
Yeah.
You know, but at this moment, I'm walking into TV. The shit. All the shit. I can't believe it. So,
yeah. Damn.
And my seat is right there. And he sat, you know, I'm sitting to like this angle of him. He just looked over like, hey, what up, man? I've been hearing a lot of shit about you. I heard a lot of good shit about you. And my immature trying to be extra prove the point, I'm like, yeah, it's all true too. Like I'm turned up. Like, you feel me? Yeah, so he like, so what they tell me you hard, you can rap. I'm like, yeah. He like, what you got? I'm like, what, bust right here? He like, yeah. And I had a particular verse that used to be always my go-to verse whenever I meet somebody to rap. And I bust that motherfucker right there in front of him. He was like,
Nice.
Shit, I don't need to hear no more. I got crooked eye. And I guess they already at that meeting had decided Eastwood.
Right.
That was the meeting, was the main thing the meeting was about. He's like, I got crooked eye, Eastwood, then it's going to be you. Da, 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 da. And that started that relationship and the whole journey. Shout out to Suge, Eastwood, Crooked Eye.
Nice.
Rest in peace, Country Owl, Big Ant, everybody that was there that night that I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Timmy Rue was there too, Black Jesus. Everybody that could confirm I ain't lying on my mama. Yeah.
Nice.
Bob Gotti probably was there too.
Yeah. Damn. Now, I know during that time being on the road, you had did like a diss song towards Snoop at that time, right?
Yes,
or said
sir.
Something.
Yep, the road.
Now, but that's not what was that Suge behind that shit?
Well, of course. Well, I'm gonna tell you my experience being over there was, you know, Eastwood wasn't necessarily a gangbanger.
Okay.
He was a gangster rapper.
Okay.
But he was a rapper that was also more able to be switched off and go pop if need be. He was very like universal.
Right.
And I was kind of like, and then so was Crooked Eye. If you just think about his character's persona, you could take all the gangster off Crooked Eye and just sell him as an MC easily.
Right.
Because, you know, that's what
Lyricist.
it actually is.
Hell yeah.
Then Eastwood had more of a like a party, street, fun thing versus a just gangster shit.
Right.
And I unfortunately fell in the box of banged out, whatever, and caused to be, at the time when they were doing records, majority of the time, I would be in the cut because they doing these party records and all that. And just so happened, when it came time to do a diss record, here we go, Suge. Me and the Booyah Tribe. Eastwood as well. But we were working on the soundtrack to, Eddie Griffin had did a film called
Dysfunctional
Family.
I remember that.
We working.
You're
on
on
the
that soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I have a very inspirational story about that soundtrack.
Okay.
That includes Eddie Griffin. So what happened was they were making all these party songs, and I was never invited to be on any of them.
Oh
and
wow.
None of the songs initially when Suge got the deal to do the movie, he had me, myself, Crooked Eye, Corrupt, Gail Gotti, Queen, Eastwood, Left Eye, everybody. We went to a little film production house and they showed us the film in a small room and they had other music in the film. And everywhere they wanted music, they would pause it and see, we need a song here, we need a song here, we need a song there.
Okay.
And I was the only person in the meeting taking notes. The most banged out nigga in the crew is the only nigga in the meeting taking notes.
Taking notes, right.
So
Doing your homework.
on my mama. And the film happened to be a stand-up comedy where Eddie Griffin told his life story.
Right.
His uncles, cousins, nephews, he named them as if we knew him.
Right.
Whether you know him or not, we don't know him. But then they also made it a documentary style to where they introduced you to these people. So he might tell a joke about Uncle Bucky, then it'll freeze and he'll be at home with Uncle Bucky. And you'll see Uncle Bucky.
Because the way they chop it,
That's how they
right,
did it.
right.
So,
I remember, hell yeah.
Notes writing everybody name down and all that.
Yeah.
Now, subsequently, we started going to Track Record. That was the main studio that Suge was recording in at that time.
Okay.
For the next few weeks to a couple of months. All the sessions was for the soundtrack. However, everybody else on the label, they was just doing general records. Banging ass records. Banging records. Darren Vegas was the producer. Shout out Darren Vegas. He was the primary producer. He would get to the studio like 12 noon.
Right.
Then the artist would get there like 7 p.m. And between 12 noon and 7, he'll be making beats. And then between 7 until 2 or 3, we come in there doing the music. And when they was doing these records, all these party records,
Was
I
popping.
wasn't really getting included.
Oh, they
That
weren't?
wasn't really my type of music. So I was just used to be in a lot of the sessions, kicking it. And then when they did the diss record, I got the call to step up. So I stepped up, wrote my verse, did the dissing, which I think, wouldn't have been that bad because that's like how crews, clicks, labels do.
Yeah.
But when I came out the studio, the nigga Suge was like, go back in there and say, that's why I fucked your mama, Beverly. And then I went in there against, right, and it didn't sit right in my spirit at the moment.
Right.
But I still went in there, I said it, and I kind of got creative. Was like, yeah, that's why she got some bomb ass pussy. I felt bad about it, but I did that. And so
Because I know you apologized to Snoop when they had the West Coast.
correct.
Right. Now, you got the call. You got a call late to go there, right? Because
Shout out Solo.
Right, because your homie
Happens
Solo
to be
was like, hey,
Wino.
nigga, why ain't you...
Happens to be Wino from one I know that we spoke about earlier.
Earlier, yeah, that's him, right.
No, they brothers.
Oh, they fucking... Oh,
Brothers, yeah.
shit. Okay.
Shout out to Solo and Wino.
Because you didn't know about the shit at first, right? And then your homie was like, nigga, get your ass up here. Why
Correct.
you ain't here, nigga?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, so you
Correct.
pulled up.
You remember
I know
Ice
this-
Cube ever saying Cam and Solo, they got
Right,
nuts.
right.
That's Solo.
Okay.
Ice Cube's referencing. All right, go ahead.
So then I know this is when Game and 50 had their little issue going on and shit like
no, it
that,
hadn't
right?
quite. No,
Or it wasn't
it
popping
was
just
before
yet.
that. Before that.
It was before that?
Yes.
I thought
If
that
it
was the same
was,
fucking
it was
time.
simply behind. It was more behind the scenes. It may have been, maybe an indication.
Yeah, because they had, I believe that's when 50 and Game shook hands. This is 05. 04 going into 05.
Well, see, now,
right?
but you being able to document it from the outside looking in, you may be more precise about dates.
Okay.
I've lived a lot of those incidences outside of those associated with that.
Right.
It's a lot of blur in the blend.
Yeah,
You might
that
be
part.
correct.
Yeah.
You might be correct. But however, it wasn't on to the point where I wasn't comfortable. Well, you know what? For a long time, I was utilizing my relationship with Game, even though it wasn't all the way 100 with him and 50 to be able to pop up at his productions, video shoots, and all that. I remember one time, foolishly enough,
Oh, shit.
shout out my nigga Crash, Big Trap, he can confirm this. We
Yeah.
got the information. If Game was shooting the video, he was on G Unit. And
Y'all was cool at this time?
yeah, but he
Okay.
wasn't being in communication like I felt like he should. So he
Okay.
like shooting a video in LA.
Especially if you're in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the same label
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
This is the type of he was giving me that kind of led to like me being comfortable going against him because he was never inclusive.
Okay.
Even when I got myself on the squad, he wasn't inclusive or receptive of me.
Okay.
So, damn, what the fuck we was just saying?
Game had a video shoot.
Oh, and
You and your homie was gonna
Crash.
pull up or some shit. Yeah.
What video was it? What video was it? But what was the story I was trying to convey?
You was trying to tell me that one time, ironically, that you said Game was having a video shoot, and then you and
Oh,
your homie,
I popped up.
sip up, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying how ignorant I was.
Yeah.
Calling myself being turned up, having extra energy, right? So he was having a video shoot. It was at the time where our relationship was right where typically I should have known from a call, and I
Right.
didn't. but we were still cool enough to where I felt like popping up unannounced was gonna be accepted. And it
Well,
was.
of course, because you're on the same label,
Yeah,
you're in the
yeah.
same group,
Yeah.
G Unit.
But
So
it eventually got to not be that cool. But at this point, I was coming just to like pop up like it was happening.
and be supportive and all that, right?
Less supportive and more like
What the fuck's going on?
Exactly.
Nigga? Right.
so I remember and that's Anthology, New Jersey Devil. I remember he was right there when I walked in the trailer.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, on my mama.
Yeah.
I think this before he was even claiming Damu and all that. 'Cause
Yeah.
before he wasn't. He was just like a out of town nigga that was down with the Black Wall Street crew.
Right. I remember.
With his loyalty and love, he
Mhm.
eventually got banged out. But anyway, I remember going in the trailer, just make my presence known, just to show like, yeah, I'm here, even though I wasn't invited. And I remember giving the one nigga in the trailer that I did not recognize the most aggressive energy, the eyeball and all that. He had on slacks, dress shirt tucked in. But I remember he had a scar on his face.
Black nigga?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had no idea who he was. And then I remembered time after, I gave him that energy because he looked at like the most eyeball square motherfucker in there.
Damn.
And I remember later on through a magazine or documentary realizing that was Jimmy Henchman. I'm like, ooh, wee, nigga, he was
Oh shit.
doing some bullshit. Yeah.
Damn.
I could remember, I could bet the energy I gave the whole trailer, because even like 2 T's being in there, that's my nigga.
Right.
But I'm showing up unannounced. And my whole energy is toward game.
Right.
And everybody else around know I'm family, but you could sense that it ain't. So I'm coming in, greeting everybody I know. What up, my nigga? What up, my nigga? But it's still toward game, like, you know, whatever. So the nigga I don't know, the only nigga I don't know look like the squarest nigga in the trailer.
Right.
So he gonna get the stankiest.
Look.
Yeah, you know, when I'm dapping everybody since I don't know you, you might not even get one. And you gonna get the whole like,
The mean mug and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I cannot confirm this part, but I can just imagine when I leave that trailer, I can imagine him like, yo, who the fuck is that? Like,
Oh yeah.
it was that type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was Game in that trailer?
Of course.
How was the energy between you and him?
Every time
that
I've
time?
had to give Game that type of whatever energy, he's always immediately humbled himself, been receptive, and, you know, broke it down and tried to mediate whatever it was that I was dissatisfied with. That's the only energy he's ever given toward me, period, point blank, outside of him being on a microphone, perhaps.
Okay, right now in 2023, what's the relationship between you guys?
It's
Do you
not
have one, or
existent.
there's
no,
not
it's
a
not
relationship?
existent. There's no ill feelings.
There's no beef,
nothing,
no tension,
nothing
nothing
at
like
all.
that.
However, when his name come up, just based on habit, I'll be like disrespectful, just because that's where it was always left off.
Right.
This is hip hop, you know. Even in the cartoons, the same adversary always pops back up.
Yeah.
You know, Gargamel is trying to get the Gremlins every episode.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to get him, but there's not much on a public platform when his name come up for me to say that I appreciate. So although there's no ill feelings or none of that, I do take the opportunity to have a laugh at his expense every now and then when he continuously does things that are laughable.
Right.
But no, I don't know. It's just, you know, nothing at all. That shit old as fuck.
You know what would be beautiful, bro? For there to be a G Unit reunion. 50, Yayo, Banks, you know what I'm saying? Buck,
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
Game,
no. I'm gonna say
everybody.
no comment, man. I'm gonna say no comment.
No, but that's coming from me as a fan of G
you
Unit.
gotta tell.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes more sense for you to tell somebody that can have any type of say so over that happening. But
Yeah.
I realize that even if that take place, I may not even be considered a part of it. So
Damn.
yeah, I ain't even tripping.
If you got approached,
I'll be 100.
would you do it?
Google % with it, of course.
For sure. That's what's
Definitely.
up.
You know,
That's
50
what's up.
50 got a few of my little homies up and around him right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, so he came to LA recently on his tour.
Yeah.
You know, I could imagine how natural and normal it would be for me to be able to hop up there and do Beautiful World or something that that he
yeah.
never let me do when
Right.
shit was current.
Right.
But I guess to him it don't make sense. But it would have made sense to me and probably any other person that would have seen it happen. It would have been like, oh, okay.
Right.
But it's not like that. So hey, you
That's
know,
right.
it is what it is.
That's right.
You know, you got way off subject, bro, and you did it. I didn't do it. I was on point. I was trying to connect some dots for you, and you drinks with jinx, y'all. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
That Henny kicking in, nigga.
No, it ain't. That's you kicking in.
That's me
That's
kicking
you.
the Henny
Yeah,
ass or the
yeah.
Henny kicking my ass, nigga.
I can't. You made an obvious left. Yes, get
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh, my.
You see, I got the blue cups
know what?
too, nigga,
I'm-
for
look,
you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
I
get the
appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you this: you may have inspired something.
Yeah.
They might have drinks with drinks.
Drinks with Jinx.
It
nigga.
might be kicking in.
Yeah,
Drinks
that part.
Is if you hear about Smoke with Loke, you know where the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You
I think
know.
that would be a beautiful thing, bro. Because
Do you smoke?
once in a while, very
Well,
rare.
You would have to come and smoke with Loke. Since I came,
I got you.
I came and had
You had drinks with Jinx, so I gotta have
Oh,
smokes
my
with
mama.
Lokes.
There we
That
go.
part.
There
Hey,
we go.
hey, that might be a name. Hey,
don't plural my shit.
no.
It ain't
Smokes
Lokes.
with Lokes.
No, smoke with Loke. One host.
Get that.
Jinx, Jinx, this is not plural. That's just the X. Don't make
Right.
mine sound like yours.
No.
I'm just Loke.
Okay, so smoke with Loke.
There you
Then that
go.
means you gotta take the K out and put the C.
There's no.
It could just be S.
That would smoke.
No, you could.
I wouldn't though.
So it wouldn't be SMOC?
No, you know what?
And then LOC. Smoke with Loke.
My next project I'm working on is East Side Conversations, and I'm going to spell side with a C. And
I like
for
that.
the purpose of what you know what I'm affiliated.
That part.
However, I'm not that young.
No, you're still young, bro.
Not that young to where I would do every smoke, and that's a little too
No.
much. If smoke would give me an EC out of it, maybe so. But I have no problem with K's.
Right.
We only replace K's when they come after C's. In my generation.
That part.
Yeah. Now, there's some younger people, they do them just because.
Right. I'll pull up on your podcast, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Thank
we're going to get, and I'm going to bring the Henny too
But
still.
Smoke
nigga.
with Loke is still a concept. I
That's
have an
dope.
actual podcast, Factual Feeling. Shout out to Alex Alonso, Street TV, the whole squad over there.
Right.
I'm going to need you there way before.
I'm going to pull up.
All right,
I'm pulling up. All you got to do is give me a date and fucking time,
Say
nigga,
less.
and I'm there.
Well,
That's my word.
I just so happen to be fortunate enough and blessed enough to have a production team that does my scheduling. Shout out to Stephanie, the head of the production team.
Nice.
I will forward your information to Stephanie, and she will be right at you.
Yeah, we
got to
in
schedule
there like
a date.
somewhere, bro.
Right on,
I
right
get
on.
that's my word, my
Right
nigga.
on. Blessings.
Just like you kept your
Blessings.
word with me, nigga.
Likewise.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying? On some G shit.
Thank you.
You know
Appreciate
what I'm
it.
saying?
Appreciate
Now let me ask you this. Now we finna, you know what I'm saying? Flip the script. How you feel about all this alien shit coming out right now? You know what I'm saying? With the UFOs, more aliens being shown.
I hate to admit
Yeah.
that I'm not educated enough to really make a sound.
Comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, of course, just like I believe that there was a bunch of money up under the World Trade Center,
Yeah.
even though I can't prove it. Everything Michael Moore put in front of us was extremely convincing. You know, there's no general consensus among the public that is correct.
Right.
Now, I have a very, active imagination that can, for the most part, eliminate the reality I realize and grasp almost any concept, even though it might be for small increments of time.
Right.
Because sometimes you can grasp it and it's just gone.
Do you think space is real?
When I have the ability to free myself of everything I've been taught and told, what I imagine the possibilities are limitless. Almost a little bit of everything I heard makes some kind of sense.
Right.
When I strip myself of what I was indoctrinated with. See, I was indoctrinated from a
Yeah.
child with the Bible, and I'm a very spongy type of individual as to whatever the truth is embedded in me. I realize it's embedded in my DNA, it's coded in me.
And
so to deprogram myself I'm still on a journey.
Right.
So what I have allowed myself to accept as factual is being highly dictated by how I was indoctrinated. And it's like an ever cleansing journey.
100%. Now, a lot of the stuff that they talk about is actually in the Bible.
Wow.
And a lot of people are so ignorant, right? They can't comprehend the shit that these people are making a big deal of. They talk about the firmament. They talk about space, this, that, other planets, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But if you read the Bible, it says God made the world and worlds.
And he talks about
Those are other planets.
and talks about beings
Yeah, it talks about other
going
beings.
in and out, communicating with
The
different realms.
right.
Even without the Anunnaki and all that.
That part.
It talks about the fact that Satan popped up and asked God about Job and said, hey, can I try him and all that. We look at him as such fixed characters. We don't realize we're hearing about these supernatural
Beings,
that had this,
entities, and shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the shit is
but
deep.
when we get to the Bible, what I have to always take it down to based on I was whooped with the Bible.
Right.
And we use it in our society as a trophy, a weapon, or a tool.
Right.
However, we use it as one on behalf of a supernatural being. We have to keep constantly remembering and realizing and reminding ourselves that the creation of humans.
Yeah. Facts.
And all our desire to satisfy our supernatural requirement to pay homage to our creator, we've been through other humans, it's all the energy is directed in a way we've been told. What if we didn't know none of that shit they telling us? That same spirit we had would still be yearning for some type of spiritual connection. And I believe we may be able to find things way beyond. We keep regurgitating the same shit we've been taught. What is a doctrine? I went to theology. I was a theology major for college at the age of 17.
Damn.
However, I traveled to Oakwood University, Huntsville, Alabama, to be a theology major and became a convict and did a bunch of bullshit at the age of 17.
Right.
However, I have an inclination to things of a spiritual nature. I have been blessed with discernment and being able to decipher. And because of that, I realize I'm a Moses type in the sense that Moses was raised amongst the Egyptians as an Egyptian to become an elite expert Egyptian in all their philosophies and beliefs.
Right.
For the sole purpose to then become the person to come before the Egyptians on behalf of the creator and say, let my people go.
Now, talking about that, being in tune with the Bible and all that stuff, right?
I know I'm getting another invite.
Yeah. Because we're going to do part 2.
We might,
Part 2, part 3.
I want to say I had no idea. You see, Antonio brought this spirit. Rest in peace, Big Ant. His son. I had no idea. You slick this one, man. Go ahead, break bread, brother.
Okay, so
Blessings.
so watch this though. But I'm fuck you up with this one. So you know how you're in tune with the Bible, God, all that stuff, right? So marriage is very sacred, right? Marriage is between man and woman. Of course, we know that, right?
Of course.
Thou shalt not, no adultery.
Of course.
Things like that, stepping on your wife, stepping on your husband.
Of course.
How do you feel about Adam 22 letting another nigga fuck his wife?
Well, I've, learned to separate and detach my personal perception of those type of activities from my understanding of Adam and someone who is a professional porn star. So there's 2 ways to look at it.
Okay.
Outside of him being that heavily invested into the sexual industry, of course, it's the normal reaction, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But then when you get to just analyzing Adam's whole setup, there are things that take place outside of the norm that are not because you're weak or weird to the sense. It's weird,
Right.
but not to the weird to the sense that you're doing something you're not choosing to do or something that you rather not do because of some type of pressures or insecurity.
Yeah.
I just think Adam is into things I never will understand or be into. And it's not that he's being taken advantage of or being vulnerable to the point where he's having to tolerate something he'd rather not tolerate.
Right.
But of course, it's not my cup of tea.
That part right there.
Yes.
And also, letting things like that occur in a marriage, you know damn well the marriage can never be the same. It couldn't be. There's no way.
But when you think about
that's with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
right.
that makes sound sense for our normal societal understanding. But once again, that's outside of the realm of porn.
Right.
And we're living in a society, just think, we live in a society that allows drag queens to go to elementary school and perform for adolescents.
See.
So when you balance the morality of that type of society and someone in Adam's position who definitely is not a incel,
right,
and definitely not up hard for sex, and we know how, I think Adam really is on the verge of coming out the closet. He says a lot of things that, and for us, it's like,
that's zesty.
But when you are that heavily invested into the sexual industry, it's no big surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no shame in that to them.
Right. But it is a shame.
It is
wrong.
To whom?
Well,
to me, you.
Yeah.
But to society,
to masculine man, to alpha males,
which I've realized in our society, we are the far, the few, the in between. We are the rarity.
Well, you know what's fucked up about society, also, bro, is that it seems like a lot of women are more masculine now, and the men are demasculinized,
particularly
right,
in the melanated environment, bro.
Right, and it's very fucked up because
they don't even change their appearance.
They don't.
They're looking more and more feminine. but they're coming across more and more masculine. It's more of a demonic presentation.
Yeah.
Because I can see it, they were getting studded out.
Right.
They're not even being studded out.
No, they're not.
Wearing longer nails,
Yeah.
longer hair,
Yeah.
longer lashes.
Still looking beautiful and fine, all that.
Faker titties, bigger titties, big as ass.
Ass, all that,
But
right.
then they're talking about suck my dick. That is demonic.
That shit is weird.
It's demonic, bro.
That shit is weird.
And I hate the fact, and I'm not casting the judgment on them. I'm saying it's terrible for us.
It is.
And I'm taking responsibility for being part of us. And it's embarrassing for us, not them, for us. We still love y'all,
Right.
but I like to try to revive the spirit of Tupac at his passing of never call you bitch again.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see you never call yourself bitch again, as well as hoe.
Well, what about a woman that calls herself a bad bitch?
I don't
right?
like that.
I don't either. Now check this out, Spider.
I have adult daughters and preteen daughters.
Right.
So looking through the scope of a father looking at black females over a large general blanket, I don't like how we apply that to.
I don't like that shit either.
And
I don't like
only
that shit
because personally, I cannot just say it generally because I don't feel that way about my daughters.
Right.
And I don't feel that way about your daughter.
Right.
Or the producer's daughter who keep telling you we're supposed to be and finished.
Exactly.
You
See,
feel me?
and this is another thing about a woman that calls herself a bad bitch. What makes a woman a bad bitch? See, now a woman, hold up.
Makes you a real nigga, though.
No,
I mean, that's
that part.
as generic as real nigga.
That part,
Yeah.
right? So a woman, 9 times out of 10, a woman that calls herself a bad bitch
Lack
is
of
not a
morals.
bad bitch.
No.
Well, it's just not a lack of morals. It's a lack of intelligence. It's a lack of self-confidence within themselves.
Character.
The character,
Integrity.
personality-wise, being able to
Yes,
comprehend
morals.
things, lack of self-respect,
But that
right?
is running rampant.
No, but hold up. Now, check this out. Now, they think they a bad bitch because they got big tits, big ass, which is fake. They got Botox all up in their lips, right? The bitch ain't nothing but a walking...
a fake titty feel.
Right, but the bitch ain't nothing but a walking sex doll,
course.
okay? Now, with that being said, if the bitch take the weave off, take off all that makeup, take off them fake lashes and all that bullshit, let's go out to dinner, bitch, now. Are you still gonna consider yourself a bad bitch?
But you just called her a bitch. My thing is more so how she perceived herself is how she was taught. And I don't take it as a personal issue as to where I can look at her down on her and derogatory. I look at the situation. I look down on it and think it's a derogatory situation, but I don't personalize it between the participants because it's an epidemic that has affected our culture. And it's not because each individual decided to be this person. It's because this is the type of image that has been perpetuated and kind of like just pushed upon them. And I've seen people who would have been other than that turn to that because it's popular and it's common. So I try not to be judgmental.
But sometimes it comes from the mama too.
I believe it comes from...
At times, in some scenarios.
But when you say the mother, that is at the same time usually indicating the lack of the father.
Exactly.
And the responsibility of the father being displaced sometimes falls on the mother, sometimes on
Yeah.
the father. And I try to do more discussing remedies than actual conditions.
Okay.
I know we in a
Break that down.
we're in a fucked up condition as a people, as
Okay.
a society, as a community. It's obvious. And it's one thing to be on this platform highlighting all the terrible things that are wrong with us.
But people need to know this, though.
Of course, but I think more
And some people do know, but they're blind. They walk around with a fucking blindfold.
what people, I believe, need to know even deeper than that is what type of remedies do we have for our condition.
Right.
It's one thing to keep pointing at the condition and highlighting. I think it's a whole nother thing and a far more efficient thing to come with results and things that we can do to make it better.
Right.
And I think it'll just make for a more edifying conversation on the subject in a public platform if we not only point out what's wrong, but at the same time, we have some remedies on how to make it better.
Yeah.
And I like to focus more on the remedies than the actual, we know we fucked up.
Right.
All right, how long we gonna sit around and talk about how fucked up it is? We
Right.
can do that forever.
But what's the antidote? What's
There
the
we go.
prescription
What's
for
the
the
answer?
shit?
Yes.
Right.
What can we do to
See,
make some
it's
type
just
of
like
step?
let's say I walk inside of a grocery store.
I think it can start with, like I started saying, Tupac, never call you bitch again.
Right.
Because I would bet every dollar that I ever touch in the future and the ones I have now, had we not gotten so comfortable referring to them as bitches, they would have never gotten so comfortable referring to themselves as
a
bitches.
bad bitch. Yeah.
As a
that's
leader,
facts.
a man, we're not only the leader of our each individual relationships, we are the leader of our community in our society.
Right.
And we made that a cool thing to refer to our princesses, our queens, our mothers, our daughters, our aunties, and our sisters as anything less than a prince, a queen.
King
And
or
we
whatever
made,
they
yes,
call
we made bitch a common word. They fought it for so long, but as the leader goes, so shall those that follow.
Right.
And the women by nature are designed to follow the lead of the man. And we've gotten to a point in our society that we've led them to a point where they no longer have a natural inclination to follow us.
Right. But see, check this out. Back to the whole community and society thing with this, right? It's like if, okay, let's say I walk inside of a Food for Less or Stater Brothers, right? And I see you in there, and you see me walk in, the motherfuckers. A lot of times a nigga will look at none, nigga, where you from? Woo, woo, woo. It's like an ego trip, alpha male type of testing the waters type of thing. What this nigga temperature like? What this nigga on? Off top. A white person could go inside the Trader Joe's and see another white individual come in. Ain't no tension, ain't no beef. Why the fuck is it like that with us black men, bro? Why do you feel, what the fuck? What's the, I've always tried to figure out what the fuck is the meat and potatoes of the shit.
This is a question I've often asked and have yet to find an answer. I know there's a lot of things, even going back to the Willie Lynch shit and so many other things we can try to point out as the problem or the source of the problem.
Right.
I think more important, once again, than figuring out the source of the problem or talking about the problem once we've identified it, is trying to identify ways to rectify it once again.
Yeah.
So we know we have this problem bumping into each other in public and not being just friendly. We don't know why, but we know it's unnecessary.
It
Fuck
is.
why.
It is. It is
Fuck why.
unnecessary.
Fuck why.
It
y'all.
is.
Let's do better, y'all.
Right.
I actively try to engage my energy, my eye contact with a nod and all that to every black eye encounter.
Sometimes you got to do that just to break the ice.
Because you are a person that's a leader. You're vocal. You come forth regardless what the crowd is doing. So when the cameras are off and nobody's around and you getting your gas and you bumping into dudes, we, the guys that have a presence, regardless if you know us or not, we have a presence.
Right.
We have to be, active in being that positive energy because it works.
Yeah.
And a nigga who had a screw face, who might have been on something else, just because you said, oh man, them motherfuckers clean, where you get them? All that heat, you will make his fucking day.
Yeah.
You was
That
finna
part.
argue. You might
For
not
nothing.
even really give a fuck about the shoes.
Right.
But it's just a way to be something other than coarse and harsh and
Exactly.
anti, and just to show some uplifting to my brother.
Yep.
We don't get it often. So I do it often, man. I'm the type of friend throughout the years, no matter what. It could be a piece of shit. You pull up in something you didn't have yesterday, just my reaction is gonna act like you in a brand new, latest model form with all the
Yeah.
bells and whistles. I don't care what it is.
And see, that's the type of nigga I am too, bro. If I seen you pull up in a Ferrari or something, I'm not gonna hate on you, bro. I'm gonna ask you, hey, sir, how you doing today? Hey, what is it that you do so I could get one of those? What's your line of work? Well, shit, nigga, I'm finna quit this job, nigga. I'm gonna work for you or with you.
No, but what
like
if
you
it's
congratulate, you
what
don't
if,
play
what
it,
if
hey.
it's somebody you know? And you know what
Well,
they
you're
do?
not supposed to envy nobody. You're
But
supposed to
no, what's your
congratulate.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's not
But
supposed-
my thing is, if it's not a Ferrari,
Right.
It
It could
could
be
be a
anything. It could be
you could be like,
it's better than the bus, bro.
I'm gonna still, when I see you pull up in it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you feel like it's a Ferrari.
That part.
That's my
That part.
energy.
It's all, look, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. It's all about, and this goes for any ethnicity, race, culture, whatever, right? It's all about uplifting people and
Yes.
talking prosperity and positivity in the people,
Yes.
bro. There's too much fucking negativity going on these days. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like this, bro. Whether it's your mama, your daddy, brother, sister, wife, husband, this, dad, acquaintance, homie that you've been friends with for 30, 40 years. If a motherfucker ain't bringing nothing positive into your life, cut that motherfucker off. Straight up, cut them off.
So hard to
Before
do
before it gets cancerous. Or
Correct.
before it becomes a tumor.
Correct.
Cut that bitch off.
Correct. And that's something that you have to remember. We were talking about relationships before
Right.
we even got cracking.
Right.
And my point was, it's something that you have to purpose in your mind and then make sure you go through the process of every time you're challenged with that issue, regardless of how you feel, go with the energy that you would prefer to go with.
Yeah.
Positive. Because sometimes you have to make that decision regardless of how you feel. That's why I remind myself, you see right here on my shirt, it says Jita.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude is the attitude, not the attitude that you're looking for or that you're hoping to have most, but it's the attitude that you assume most, regardless of your circumstances. And I think that we have a power in being grateful because we was taught as child, it's always somebody got it all worse than you.
Mm-hmm.
We forget that so often.
100%.
Go.
I'm gonna tell you something to capitalize on what you just said. Just to ask somebody, "Hey, how you doing today?" That shit could go a long way because you don't know what that person's going through in life.
Have you ever given somebody a last or given somebody a couple dollars outside the store and then later on that same day wishing you had them dollars in your real life?
Yeah.
And you just looked at them and you just view yourself as so far above them because you getting in your car, you just spent a few dollars.
Right.
So you like, man, these $2-3 ain't nothing. But 6-7 hours later, just hitting your corner doing your life, you like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Because at least I got a car again. I could get
Yeah.
inside of it. They might not have no
but
car.
it also
Got a roof over my head. Maybe they ain't got no roof over their head.
and it just show you sometimes how far you are, but how close you are from somebody who appears to be in a totally worse, different situation.
Sometimes those are tests too.
Yes. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Sometimes it's a test you to see if
Indeed.
you're going to do that.
Because if you want to go back to the Bible, it says at times many have entertained angels unaware. So if you have any type of belief in that, whether you believe in what the Bible says, the concept of supernatural, spiritual, or people being in front of you not actually being what they appear to be, you never know. And it also brings me back to something you said, because with all of my theological understanding, all my biblical experience, all my religious time, all I take out of it is the golden rule. I can't believe
Right.
you brought it up. Doing to others as you would have them do to you.
Facts.
It's my philosophy if that there was some way possible we could get everybody in the world to put that rule first and foremost in their brain, we can cease almost any and every conflict. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Because if indeed by chance I do offend you on accident, if we all go by that rule, I'm going to be extremely remorseful because I would like you to do so had it be reversed.
Yeah.
And then you, as the one being offended, are going to be very forgiving because guess what? In return, you would love for me to be very forgiving.
Right.
And if we all applied that one rule, I think we could really achieve harmony.
Sometimes people get offended for the wrong reasons.
Truth
Because
does.
because the ego.
Yes.
See, ego is a motherfucker.
Ever present so often too.
It's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
It's a
saying?
monster.
And pride is a bigger monster.
Mm.
See, it's one thing to be passionate about shit that you do, about your craft, whatever the fuck it is, right? But when you're too prideful.
So when you use the word pride,
Yeah.
and then you say it in that sense, we know
Nothing's wrong with pride.
Pride goes before destruction.
Yeah.
Haughty spirit before a fall.
Right.
But how do you relate that to June in America? The month of June and what it stands for.
Oh, shit. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep, bro.
If you look at societies of ancient times, Babylon, Rome, and others, whenever they become sexually immoral to the point that anything goes,
Oh, yeah, they
very
was on some
shortly-
barbaric shit.
very shortly thereafter, they met their demise.
Yeah.
So when you think about the phrase or the scripture that says, pride goeth before a fall and a haughty spirit before destruction, and you see how America has chosen to position themselves on subjects considering pride, even when they reacted to some of our African brothers in their nation making new laws that were restrictive to those type of activities. The way
Right.
America seems so offended, and we know pride precedes destruction. Where do you think America's headed?
Downhill.
That's friendly. That's nice.
I'm being nice
Very nice.
because I'm buzzed.
Then-
And I'm being
well,
nice
you know,
because I could
usually
be
the
more raw.
Usually the more buzz you are, the more unfiltered you are.
Normally,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be nice.
Because
I'm
that's-
going to be.
I can identify a man who knows the power of which we discuss.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No problem with that.
Nah, not
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Man, look, bro, it's been a pleasure
Likewise.
having you on, bro.
Likewise.
This grown man talk right
Indeed
here.
it was.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to do a part 2.
Indeed, I'm on deck.
100%.
On my
You
mama.
pulling back up?
I don't push hundreds, I push Googles.
That.
You know what I'm saying? Google is a denomination.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
that's why we the Google gang and we keep it a Google.
That part. That part, Baymac with it.
Be about your marathon.
Yeah, yeah.
Baymac, but we keep it a Google. And the only reason you see Google is because everybody keeping it 100,
Hell
keeping
yeah.
it 1,000, and we know Google is the number, the biggest much number we
Yep.
talk about.
Hell yeah.
So we keep it.
You gotta bring me one of them shirts.
I got you, bro.
A black one
Size?
with the white, right? XL.
XL, got
But
you.
2X. I don't know. Nigga
Okay.
been dropping weight, so maybe an
this
XL.
This is XL, so
Yeah, XL.
I'll bring both.
Because I was always an XL. Then the nigga went up to the 2Xs. Then nigga started slimming down a little bit. Now I'm back to XL.
with the style
So,
these days. Remember,
yeah.
we used to wear the 3, 4, 5s anyway. So.
I used to wear 5X Pro Clubs back in the big white tee or the black one back in the day, nigga, in 04, 05, nigga.
I got you,
Hell
though.
yeah. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Shoot,
Got you.
cool than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, we gonna definitely do part 2. Guaranteed.
No doubt.
And I'll pull up on your
Facts
podcast
over
too.
feelings
All
in
you
the
gotta do is
podcast.
let me know
I will.
the time and date, and I'm gonna pull it up.
I will do.
You know what I'm saying?
Will do.
Y'all make sure you go follow.
Please do. Spot Loc,
Spot-
Easty.
Yep.
The number 7 is on IG. He
There
had
you
it on
go.
screen for the majority of the time. There
Yep.
you go. And also on YouTube, it's just Spot Loc, Most Easty. Tap in.
Yep.
Or tap out. Facts Over Feelings. The podcast is on all your audio podcast streaming platforms. You spell it FACTZOVAFEELINZ. Facts Over Feelings. We got an audio experience for your listening pleasure. And until then, just keep it a Google. Facts Over Feelings. Gratitude is the attitude. On my mama, be
On my
about your
mama,
marathon
mama.
at all costs. Shout out to Drinks with Jinx
Yes,
for
sir.
the full cup of that bush.
Oh yeah, I'm loaded. Nigga.
Got me on my tip midday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This has been another episode of Drinks with Jinx, the podcast where we chill, we conversate, we drink, and we ain't with the fake. You sure what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment. Follow us on IG, Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, all that shit. Until then, next episode, we out.
My nigga, I'm gone.
Turned up in the zone, VIP with a bitch all alone.
My nigga, I'm